everybody, it's your girl Nikki Nicole of Divas of the Roundtable Podcast. I'm joined here today with my lovely co-host Ladybug. And on today's show, we have Kenzie Conaway. Kenzie Conaway is a professional makeup artist, beauty educator, and visionary behind Faces by Kenzie and extension of Faces the House. With over 8 years in the beauty industry, specializing in bridal, Kenzie has built a brand around creating soft glam, flawless skin, and long-lasting camera-ready makeup. Her passion goes beyond just applying makeup to also educating her clients and inspiring artists on the importance of skin prep, product knowledge, and understanding the why behind every step in the makeup process. She recently created a makeup masterclass handbook to break down both skincare and makeup in a simple, easy to understand way. Today, she will share some of that knowledge with us, and we will talk about the one thing that we all have that covers us from head to toe. That's our skin. So, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the show, Kenzie Conaway.
Hello.
Thank you. Listen, for y'all that don't know, Kenzie is the daughter of a previous guest we had on our show, Marlon Conaway, who came on and talked to us about the financial education. He did a financial show with us. So I follow Marlon on social media, and several months ago, I saw he did a review of a place he went to and got a facial. So I was like, okay, Marlon giving her the thumbs up. Let me go and get my very first facial. So I make the appointment, pull up, and we were halfway through the facial before I realized this was Marlon's daughter. So I was even more pleased, and she's such a lovely person, such a lovely young lady, and very knowledgeable. You schooled me a lot on that particular show. I mean, that particular show, on that particular day. You schooled me a lot on skincare. So when me and Ladybug was talking about shows and themes, to put together, I said, I think I know the perfect person who can get the word out there to a lot of people, because a lot of people don't know how important it is
Skincare
for your skin, because our skin is our largest organ, and it's also the first line of defense for foreign invaders, getting into our body. So we wanted to have you come on the show and share a little bit of things for us and talk about some things that you got going on, girl.
Which one to start with?
So I think Ladybug had a question asking how you.
Okay. So what inspired you to become a makeup artist?
I don't really know what. It's funny because I was like the kid that watched my mom get dressed every morning, and she was like, I was like, dang, I want to be like her and I want to look like her when I get older. I'm going to do all my steps every morning. Her thing was like, never go out the house without your earrings, face, clothes, nice and iron. I don't know if they iron today, but that was like the thing. So I actually have a background in biology, and a degree in biology.
Okay.
So I thought I was going to be a plastic surgeon specializing in dermatology. But when I was in college, of course, we needed food to eat and stuff like that. So I was the only friend out of all my friends that knew how to do her makeup, because my mom kept me in MAC, my mom kept me in Sephora, she kept me at the cosmetic store in St. Augustine. Like, makeup was the thing. On Saturdays, we were going in the store and I was getting the swatches on my hand, and I would beg, like, can I please play in this? Can I try? When you get older, everything was when you get older. Like, when I got older, I was like, okay, I'm getting there. I'm getting to the age. So I was the only friend that really knew how to do my makeup. So I would do my friends' makeup, and then they were like, you should start charging other people. Like, you should make a page, charge other people to come on whatever day, before we go to whatever party was happening. For like $5. And then so we literally sat in one of my friends' dorm room. We made the page, and she was like, just post what we already have. I only had like 3 pictures. I ended up getting sick and having to move home. Literally, like, this, everything happened back to back. And I was like, dang, like, why is this happening? But then when I moved home, literally probably in like, I would say months, because it felt like it was quick, but it probably happened over time. And a lady hit me up on Instagram after I kept doing the work. I was like, I need my friends to come. Y'all come. I like this thing, but I never thought at the time it would become a career path.
Right.
So she hit me up. She was like, "Hey, do you have?" She was like, "I love your work. Like, are you licensed?" And I was like, "I'm not licensed." And she was like, "Do you have any background?" And I was like, "I don't have no background." Like, I learned from my mom. I learned by myself. Learned from YouTube. And she was like, "Well, if I can get you like certified, I can teach you the things. Would you be interested in the bridal world?" And I was like, I was very ambitious, so I just say yes, not knowing what I was getting into.
Yes.
And it moved a lot faster than I thought. And I'm so appreciative of it moving fast because it just taught me the game and it taught me how to get better. And like I was the youngest person in the room all the time, so I had to fake it till I became that knowledgeable. You know what I mean? So that I feel like the inspiration came from just getting thrown into it. When I realized I could do it, I was like, oh, I could do it. Like, this is fine. I can make money from it. It paid for my school. So, and it's paying the bills now.
That's a good thing. That's a great thing. That is a great thing.
Yeah.
Yes.
So
So let me ask you this, because like I said, some of the things that you taught me, or you was telling me when I was there, and a lot of the products we were discussing as to why, the whys.
Yes.
What are some of the things that you see that and I just don't want to, because skin is skin, but it is a certain,
but there are
a
differences. Yes.
So what are some of the things that you have noticed in the Black community that we don't do for our skin that needs to be done?
I feel like we are the race that does the most as far as the rest of our body. Like we put on lotion every day, or when you was younger, grandma put Vaseline on your face and your whole body and everything like that. Or we use cocoa butter for skin. And sometimes we throw it on our face. When I feel like the biggest thing that we don't do is protect our skin from the sun's rays at the end of the day.
Right.
I was one of these people also. I didn't protect my skin really at all. So like I went to school in 2024, or who knows, time is just time. But I went back to go get licensed as an esthetician because I did notice as I was working, regardless, that there were differences in skin, regardless if I looked online. This was all hands-on stuff. I was like, dang, when I lay the base for this, it's different when I do a ferritone person, or when I do somebody that looks like me, the application is smoother, but then we have some areas where this is happening or that happening. And I used to just be like, dang, why is this happening? You know, I didn't really fully have the knowledge, and because I didn't really know what it was I was looking for, I didn't know how to look for it online, let's say. And so then after going to school, I was one of the ones that didn't really put on sunscreen either, or like things like toner. Toner is my favorite thing to talk about. I could go on and on about toner all day. A lot of us have oily skin, right? And all of us are like, oh, our skin oily and I don't know what to do. And don't do this makeup because it does this at the end of the day, or I look like I just came from running and all this stuff. So 9 times out of 10 we're missing toner. We all know about witch hazel. That's an old school product. Everybody grandma has in the house, but we don't want to use it because it smells like alcohol and my skin is too dry afterwards. And I start breaking out, or like, you know, things like that. That is your skin doing what your skin is supposed to do when witch hazel is applied. Your skin is purging. Your skin is drying the excess sebum and all the oils that your skin actually produces. Like when you don't, okay, this is how I kind of break it down in the book. Cause I have, step by step and why, because that's how I had to learn.
Okay.
I learned the steps, but I didn't know the why for the steps. And I was just doing it because I was like, I got to keep up with everybody else around me. You know, I was like, okay, they said to do this in the videos. I don't have time to think about the why, or why my client's skin is flaking up right now, because we don't have time for that. We got 30 minutes to get this bridesmaid done for wedding time. So actually, before I go there, let's go back to sunscreen. Sunscreen is meant to protect. We feel like, oh, we don't burn, we don't do this, we don't do that. And we absorb the sun. Like when the sun, we attract the sun more than anything. It doesn't just burn a surface level. This penetrates for us. That's all I could say. For people that don't look like us, they have the visible burning. They have the visible redness. They have all those things. We know that when let's say, I do this all the time. I want it to be like chocolate. Like I want it to be like 10 times darker than I already am. So my mom took me to, we went to like a water park and I laid out at the water park from the time we got out there, but I actively laid out. I was in like the lazy river. I wasn't just like,
Okay, because I can see you like,
I don't like the heat.
like,
I don't want to sweat.
You was
So I actively laid out like in
Okay,
the river.
okay.
So I was still cool.
Yeah.
And I just couldn't, I was like, dang, I didn't necessarily burn to where it hurt or like but I did have redness and I did have the flaking. And then I kept my skin tone for like a day. And I was like, okay, like, all right. And I that's when I noticed the difference. I was like, but I was only like 13 or 14. And I was like, so why do my friends tan and peel and all of these things? The difference is the amount of melanocytes, which is what makes our melanin in our skin.
Right.
That is what attracts the dark colors like this. We're outside. You typically wear white beaters, which are white, and you get air through them. When you're outside in a black shirt, what's gonna happen?
Nothing. You're gonna get dry.
You're gonna get hurt. You're gonna be hot.
Yes,
you're gonna be sweaty.
Yes.
And all those things. And I try to like explain in layman's terms because that's how I process in layman's terms.
Yes.
I try to do things that example based. I think that's kind of how we talked about like the toners and the sunscreens and all those things. I try to do them example based.
Yes.
Black shirt, absorb, sweating, hot. We don't necessarily from what I've learned and researched, we are lesser on the skin cancer end, but we get the skin tags, we get the sunspots. We don't think they're sunspots because we think they're moles, even though we do get moles. Not to cancel the two out, but it shows up differently for us than others.
Yeah.
Okay.
The moral of the story is put your sunscreen on.
Put your sunscreen on.
Sunscreen.
The moral of the story is put the sunscreen on. And I felt like I was rambling because there's so much I want to say about it, but it's like I want to like make it make sense to where it's not I'm just throwing information because I tend to do that sometimes too, where I'm throwing information to the point that it doesn't make sense.
So let me ask you, what are some good everyday sunscreen for skin with color? What are some everyday sunscreens that we can use? Let's say, because some people, I don't know how to go in to the makeup store. So let's just say if I go into Walgreens, Target, Walmart, CVS, what are some sunscreens that will work for me and the color of my skin?
Because a lot of us don't want to wear it because we get the white cast too. That's what a lot of my clients say. They're like, I don't want to wear that because we get the white cast everywhere. I am and I'm probably biased because I'm a rep for them, but I am a rep for Dermalogica. They have a sunscreen. It's on their dynamic skin repair line. It's for more mature women or more mature men or individuals. I like it because it has skin repair properties.
Okay.
So it feels like velvet. It goes on smooth. It's very good for people with dry skin. And I used to be an oily person before I knew how to properly take care of my skin. I use it every single day. The other thing is there's another line called Black Girl Skincare or the Black Girl line or something like that. A lot of my clients tell me about that because I haven't personally used it.
Okay.
But Dermalogica, hands down, it's a little expensive. But a lot of my clients can get stuff from me personally because I have bought in and I don't get it for as high. So those are two that I know. I know we used to put on the banana boats and all that. I hated those as a kid.
Papa Tone.
I hated those as a kid.
Okay, what happened with me was I know as you age and illnesses and things like that can wreak havoc on your body as well as your skin. 2019, I went out and had I had 2 surgeries on my spine. When I went back to work in 2020, the beginning of that year, for whatever reason, if I go out in the sun, I break out in the hives.
Same.
And I was itching and scratching all over, and whatever part was getting that direct sun. And so I started telling people, I said, I think I'm allergic to the sun.
I'm actually so glad you said that because that's another way it shows up differently for us
Mhm.
and others.
Yes.
So it's like another form of sun poisoning. You're like, you're like, okay, the last time I had it bad, family reunion,
Mhm.
we were outside all day, you know, the cookout day.
Mhm.
I had my little bumps all the way up my neck,
Yes.
all over my eyelids, all across the front of my neck, down my arms, the same exact thing
Yes.
that you're experiencing. And it's essentially sun poisoning.
It itches. Oh,
Yeah.
that's what it is. So I'm in, like, it still happened. Like, I recently, it's some right now, you can feel it. It feels like little chicken skin.
Mhm.
It still happens to me. And I told people, I said, for whatever reason, when I went out in before, I never had that happen. When I came back to work in 2020, now if I'm out in the sun for prolonged periods of time, I break out in a rash. And
Also
it
called
itches
heat
very bad.
rash. Yeah.
Heat rash.
Yeah.
Oh,
I was like, oh my goodness, like what the heck
Yeah.
is this?
You're absorbing it, girl. Your skin absorbing it and you just frying.
And at the end of the day, I do feel like I constantly suffer from like dehydration. I'm not drinking enough water. I'm not doing all of those things, and I'm getting older. So my skin is telling me, "Hello, I need something here." But unfortunately, with this little bitty stomach from having a sleeve, I can't drink a lot of water.
Yeah.
So it's like I just stay inside on the boat. You know what I'm saying? But my boat, they bought me a bunch of the is it copper tone? It was in a blue bottle. They bought a bunch of it, you know, because I have to go out and work outside. So the captain ordered me a bunch of that stuff, and I just choose not to go outside. I do a lot of my activities that I have to do.
You still need the vitamins from the sun, though.
I know.
Yeah, it's just that sun. It's the sun.
It is.
I have a bad vitamin. What is it? A D deficiency. And my
I'm
doctor,
learning about that now.
I have a horrible. I think
Yeah.
mine was below is like a 6 or 7. Mine was like a 3.
Mhm.
And it's just that it's just sitting in the sun. I was like, who sits in the sun and cooks? Because I had to tell my doctor, because my doctor, he's like Middle East. So I was like, your olive skin tone and my skin tone are 2 different things. Because I was like, if I get too dark, I'm going to have 3 sets of makeup. I'm going to have my winter makeup, my spring makeup, my fall makeup, my summer makeup, 4 different types of makeup. And he was looking at me like, so you have to have different shades of makeup? I said, yes, we have to have different shades of makeup based on the seasons and based on how your skin tone is during that time of the year.
I want to ask you something about that, what she hit on with the makeup. Because my daughter is one of those people who has to mix the shades. She has to mix. And it's like, it's so hard because she, you know, when people say, do you have a red undertone or yellow undertone?
Yeah. Let's do something fun.
For me, I believe I have a red undertone because when I look at my daughter, I see banana.
But your daughter's so pretty.
Red. You know, like clay. I see red more on me, but she's yellow. And I told her, I said, you definitely got yellow undertones. You know, and then coming up, people, if you got the red bumps, you use a green something. Or if you got under eye, you use it was just all kind of stuff. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to just go back to my tomboy era and just throw my hair on the ponytail.
Like, what was that makeup we used to wear back in the day? Oh, gosh.
Wet and Wild.
Wet and Wild.
She's now in the dollar store, I believe.
Wet and Wild.
I think she's now in the dollar store.
And that's another thing too. Like me and my captain was talking about, like back in the day, I didn't really, you know, we were in school. I don't remember seeing a lot of people with acne-prone skin because Clearasil, Noxzema, and
Mary Kay, Seabreeze
was so big to where it was commercials all the time on TV. So people, the teeny boppers, you know, we went out and bought all this stuff, even if we had didn't have a problem. So we was constantly cleaning and gooping stuff on. All of that stuff. So I never was an acne.
I never had, because we were like, we don't want no zits. It was like, we used to call them like zits. We don't want these zits on our face.
I having the pads and I'm cleaning my face.
But now they got the little patches that they wear out in public. I was like, what is this? What is this star on your face? Oh, that's the acne. I was like, what?
Yeah, the acne patches. I feel very indifferent about them.
We didn't have those.
The makeup artist in me hates them because sometimes our clients come in with the acne patches on and we have to take them off, and then whatever is inside the acne patch, whatever chemical that helps pull the zit out, it creates a ring in that area. So when you, even as much as we clean the face, the ring is still there. And I don't know why it does that.
but I'm just not gonna walk around with no stars.
For the kids.
I mean, it's cute for the kids, but when you 25 or 30, you shouldn't be walking around with no hearts, moons, and stars.
I'm sitting here looking at Kenzie, and I'm like, her lashes is so pretty. She's so pretty. And the lashes is just perfect. They're not overdone. You know, I'm not talking about people because I understand different age brackets. I'm in the age bracket to where I ain't trying to look like
you got tarantulas on your eyes.
I'm gonna go there. No offense to anybody who rock you, do you. But that can't go.
And the latest trend is I've seen them now. Everybody's getting the bottom lashes done.
I love them. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I love them when they make sense.
Yeah, when they make sense.
I feel like it's a beautiful fashion statement. I feel like makeup should be out there. That's the reason you put it on.
Yeah.
When I put my makeup on, I want people to know I got makeup on. I teeter the line between like everyday to glam half of the time.
Yeah, because you look professional glam.
Well, yes, for here. But now if I'm having a night on the town,
that face is gonna show. That face is gonna, and that's what I say. I'm not gonna put on the makeup Monday through Friday. But when I leave work Friday night, if I go somewhere, that face is going to be beat.
If I'm having a night on the town, I want people to. I don't want them to say like you're pretty. I want your makeup looks good because I took my time.
But
I probably didn't think it looks good. Thank you.
And your skin looks beautiful.
It's beautiful.
Healthy.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, it looks
I actually
good.
have not been taking that great care of it. But y'all did make 2 points. You were talking about basically seeing what your undertone is. And then y'all were talking about acne prone skin.
Yes.
So this is my handbook. I currently teach a master class on everyday makeup for the everyday lady. Because I hate seeing those videos on Instagram where it's like the don't do this, do this. Where it's like trying to teach somebody how to do makeup and they're like, don't cut the wing like this.
Yeah, I do that like, there. Or
don't put your concealer on like this. Makeup has no rules. That's number one. Makeup has absolutely no rules. But they have whys and they have hows. Yeah. But you can't tell me that I can't overline my lips because these are my lips.
Yeah.
And you can't tell me to make my eyeliner this thick because today I want to do a little self-expression. I want everybody to see my eyeliner. I feel like that's incorrect. But basically this handbook has 6 modules. It goes from tools and products. This is for when you're in class, but it'll also be for people that just want to buy the ebook or a physical book and practice on their own. So, and then there's skin preparation. This is where we talk about all about the why of why skincare is important prior to makeup application.
Okay.
A lot of people are like, my makeup slips or it's chalky or is this. What does your skincare look like? Yeah. Your skin tells the truth. Like a lot of my clients, they'll sit down and I'll say, are you allergic to this? Are you dry or oily? Those are like a couple of my questions. Then I'll say, and I'll start looking. They're like, I think I'm dry. No, I think I'm oily. And in my head, I'm like, no, you're dry. Whatever. Yeah. And then I'll say, well, what does your skincare routine look like? And they're like, oh, I do this, 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 and this, and this. And I'm like, okay. And then I'll start doing the makeup, and I'm like, kind of like a just as I expected kind of thing. Because at the end of the day, your skin tells the truth. Makeup is like I hate to say it's almost like a blur effect, but it's because you're putting one tone on your face. It tells one story. Like it's just like having a blank canvas completely. Because now I'm coloring. I hate to say the word impurities or like, we have like, under my makeup, you can clearly see a darker spot here, darker indentations here, places where I fell and got cut. Those
so you have to cover those blotches up.
So then when you put makeup on, you have one blank canvas where you start from scratch, essentially. Yeah. And then we have creating the flawless base where we cover things like color correcting. Yeah. I have a lot to say about color correcting too. Creating that base, learning how to figure out what your undertone is, things like that. I get so excited about stuff like this. This is like my bread and butter.
I don't understand. Like a lot of people do the cleaning, but then they think if you do the what's that you put on before the makeup,
like a primer.
They think if you do the primer, then you good to go. But it starts with the cleaning and the moisturizing.
It starts with your nightly and morning routine.
Yeah, nightly.
Yes. And then you go into stuff like that.
Correct. Then we have the I didn't mention finishing touches, and then we have a spot where you practice if you're not in class.
Okay.
But everything is completely hands-on.
Okay.
So I wanted to go straight into skin, well, not really skin type, because we were talking about the acne prones. So the things that determine how your skin is, we have the internal and we have the external factors.
Okay.
The things external, like, you know how we see those trucks that blow the big black smoke, that affects skin.
Yeah.
We're like, why are we breaking out? External could also be like pollen. External could also be rain. Rainwater is a good thing, but the dirt rises with the water and it falls with, the clouds clean it. We learned that in elementary school, and it falls.
Right.
Clean everything.
Yes.
Factors like that. When we're walking in why can't I think of it? A parking lot or something. Sometimes we walk in the dirt.
In the
lots,
dust.
in the dirt. The dust is our face. This is why I love makeup. This is why I love makeup. I always tell, because people are like, I don't want to wear makeup because I don't want my skin to be bad. No, your skin's probably bad because you're not taking care of your skin. That's just the bottom line. Makeup is almost like a shield for all the external factors.
Okay.
Now, if you, let's say, sometimes it happens to me too. I don't take the proper care of my skin post makeup. That's when I start getting the breakouts. That's why I start getting my dry patches. That's where I start getting like super oily, because I know what my skin needs for my skin to be how my skin needs to be. Everybody knows. Sometimes we just need a little extra help or like the extra guidance. And then there's internal factors, water intake. I know that if I eat too many pieces of bacon one day, it's gonna show on my skin. Same thing with alcohol. Same thing with soda. Same thing with dairy. Like, it's internal and external factors. When you figure out what those are for yourself, I think that's when, I will say, for the people that I've educated so far, they notice makeup is not that bad. Makeup also has SPF in it. A lot of lines are starting to put skincare in there. So let's say I would still double up on the SPF, because you're only doing one drop from however much SPF is in the actual bottle. But other than that, it's protecting yourself from the skin's rays. And when that dirt hits your face, it's hitting that first layer of foundation, it's hitting that concealer, it's hitting that powder, it's hitting that setting spray. It's not necessarily directly hitting your skin. So it's creating a barrier. That's what I love. And then basically we just go through understanding your skin types, why skincare is important, benefits of proper skincare steps. We have a nice laid out step by step of what you should be doing with skincare. Everybody doesn't need a full skincare routine. I have 3 steps. 3 steps works for me. Sometimes I only do my 3 steps at night, and I do what I need to or think I need to do in the morning. Some people have to do both morning and night, depending on their skin and their skin type. We go into creating a flawless base, which came into the question that you had with undertones. So we talk about color correcting undertones, the purpose of knowing what your undertone is, because really your daughter might not have to mix shades. She just needs to know how to figure out what her actual undertone is. So something fun that we like to do is a vein test. So a vein test, you turn your hand around. All right. So we have some things that you could figure it out. 1, if your veins are green, do y'all see what color y'all veins are so far? If your veins are green, you have a warm undertone. If your veins are blue or purple, you have a cool undertone. If your veins are both a mix of any of these colors, you have a neutral undertone, because there is neutral. I tend to run through cold or sometimes neutral. Because my veins are,
I don't know what color these veins.
Look,
I'm trying to figure out what colors these.
Let me see yours. Yours look blue. They actually look blue and green. You might be neutral, but you look. Well,
like turquoise.
I think I'm neutral.
But even though you kind of pull warm, because you low key are like yellow undertone, but you are neutral. Yeah, yours are green too. Oh wait,
I'm green and blue.
Yeah, you're neutral.
I'm neutral.
Wow.
That's so funny. This is always a fun test to do because I want to be warm so bad.
Mm-hmm.
My veins sometimes, I could barely see my veins sometimes, but they do pull blue and green.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like a neutral, and I want to be warm, but I know I'm cool. Like I try to sometimes do my blush and my contour warm,
Mm-hmm.
but because my skin is deeper, a lot of times the contour palettes I use,
Mm-hmm.
they pull cool anyways. I don't know why. But that's a good one. Or you can do a jewelry test. So like gold jewelry, it complements warm undertones. Silver jewelry complements cool undertones. And then if you like both, or if you look good in both, then neutral.
Neutral.
I always pull the silver.
I pull all of them. I wear gold, silver.
Well, listen, unfortunately, we're going to have to wrap it. I want to bring you back because I want to get into the makeup part of it.
Yeah.
We kind of into the skin, the esthetician part of it, but I want to get into the makeup thing. And I feel bad because we didn't even get a chance to, you doing the bridal thing because I know you was talking about how important it is because that's such a special day for most women. Well, for all women who are getting married.
Yes.
And
the bridesmaids included.
Yeah,
and what about prom? Do you do prom as well?
I feel like because my work is so soft, glammy, I feel like a lot of the prom girlies don't look my way, and that's okay because I do specialize in bridal makeup.
Mm-hmm.
I just did a girl Saturday for prom.
Okay.
But my signature is soft.
Okay.
I'm not that great at full glams. I can do them, but I can do a soft glam in my sleep.
Okay.
I would love to have you on and maybe we can. I'm gonna give you the producers and see if we could do a little. Yeah,
do a little face because I thought we was getting facials.
I'm interested in just like we were saying, like demonstrating the products that we talked about and the things that you showed me. Also, it's more things too with the makeup because honey, the contouring, the dark stuff, and they've been. I don't know how to do any of that, and I'm sure it's a lot of people in our viewing audience that don't know how to do it. So, Kenzie, we want to have you come back.
Yeah,
fun.
I feel bad because we really didn't get into the skin. It's so much.
We're going to bring. I'm gonna set it up because I already know the date that we could film for May. We're gonna bring you back next month.
Okay,
and we're gonna set it up to where we can have you come on. And we could probably move the table.
Do a demonstration, a demo.
And you can talk about, and we'll have a guinea pig. It'll probably be a lady boy. It won't be
She's like, I wanted to be me.
It won't be me. But we'll have somebody, and I mean, that's just, I don't want to pull the hat the way, but somebody that can give you a clean slate, and you can talk about some of these things.
Step by step in your
book. So y'all look forward to, we're going to have Kenzie come back and demonstrate the makeup side of it. But today, again, we got into the skincare and some of the mistakes. We hit on a few things, and I'm sure it's more that you're gonna be able to show us on the next show.
Yeah.
So
I also do classes.
You also do
classes. Yes.
So before we leave, let the people know where they can find you and how they can reach you.
Okay, so we have 2 handles. We have Faces the House of Brides. This is where we direct all of our brides. Even if you're not a bride, we have a full team of service professionals from cosmetologists, estheticians, spray tan artists, massage therapists, barbers, nail techs. I hope I'm not missing anything. Makeup artists, bridal hairstylists. And then, so you can find us there. And then my personal is Faces by Kenz, FACES BYKENZZ. And in both of our bios, our links to book anything with us. And we're also celebrating our 1 year on Sunday.
Oh, congratulations.
Yeah, so excited about that. So we'll be doing flash appointments and just meeting and handshaking people.
Yeah.
I'm like, that's where my head is like, okay, what else do we got to get?
So Kenzie's going to be busy because she's going to be doing skin and she's going to be doing shows because we're going to bring her back.
Right.
So we can jump into this makeup thing because that's something I kind of dibbled and dabbled. But as far as my teaching, it only went to me sitting down in the chair in the Mac place.
Yeah.
And it was like, do this, do that.
Yeah.
Oh, and I went to Ulta one time and it was kind of,
yeah.
And I told the girl, I said, everything you used on me, just throw it in the basket. I'm going to buy it. But when I got it home, I totally forgot.
That's why you need a handbook.
Okay. So you guys, y'all be on the lookout for that. We're going to have Kenzie come back on the show. We're going to do a makeup show and we're going to just hopefully let you guys know more about how to apply makeup and the whys as to why you will be doing the things that you'll be doing on the show. She's going to explain everything, and we're going to have Ladybug as our special.
That's fine. You know, I love makeup. I like makeup. I like the makeup.
I just want to say thank you for being on the show today, Kenzie.
Thank you.
And thank you guys for tuning in. Y'all remember, this is Ladybug's, 27?
28.
28 years.
In the 28.
She's wrapping up this year. She only got one more month of school left. Then the kids will be out for the summer. Please protect your babies.
Yeah.
Please protect your babies over the summer so she can get some new fresh meat next August. And our girl Spicy Red, she's out on the truck, on the highways and byways of the good old United States. If you see that FedEx truck, think of my girl Spicy Red. She's out there making deliveries. And if you think of anything dealing in love, peace, prosperity, and makeup, think of me. Y'all have a good day. Thank y'all for tuning in.
Thank you.
Goodbye.
Good night. Good night.